All right, I'm back. It's been a while. Now, I can't really talk about what I'm about to talk about in this video with my family or my friends or really anybody because they won't understand. The only person that really understands is me. And that's why I'm using this YouTube video as like a MP4 format diary. Here we go. Let's just jump right in. All right, how about that? Let me jump right in. So, Americans returned $816 billion worth of merchandise in 2022. Bloomberg found that $163 billion worth of brand new products were being thrown away every single year. And that was according to 2022. I don't know what it is now. I'm assuming it's way, way, way more. I don't really see anybody stepping in to stop this. Like really stepping in and being like, okay, this is a logistics problem. How do we get the warehousing, get the capacity to intake all of this stuff, list on all the major sales platforms, use a proprietary websites, and there's a few other things you could do, and we'll get into that. But why is there no Bezos for the secondhand end of the supply chain? Like, I just don't understand how this gap is there. However, it is there, and I think I might have to sacrifice my whole life to filling that gap. And you have to be a little bit delusional, you have to be a little bit crazy to do something like this, but I don't think it's crazy at all. I think it's very doable. Even though I'm only 21 and I have, oh man, I have the wonder of a child and the ambition of an Alexander the Great, that edge isn't going to get me all the way there. I mean, I think the naive wonder to the world is very important, and if I can keep that for the rest of my life, that would be one of the most valuable personality traits that I can have. Like just a overly positive personality with a wonder and desire to just, well, it's an interesting idea, let's try it. You know, just thinking outside the box. I think that's a very important thing, but there's some other things that come with that, and it's diligence, it's grit, it's the bravery to not fear anything but God, and no thing in this life is impossible. What I've been doing, what you see behind me, all this stuff, it came from just a wonder of like, hey, what if I do that? What if this happens? Oh, that worked. Oh, let's try that. Oh, this failed. Oh, I learned this. Don't do that again. Do this, do that. You just go, you try, you fail, you do things. You get out there, you wander around, you screw around, and you find out, and you bump and scrape your knee, and you get back up every single time. And I love it. The journey is what I love, not the goal. The goal, yeah, it's important, but you're never going to see the goal unless you 100% focus on the journey. So here's the thing. I've realized recently that you cannot have a cap to your perception of what's possible. You have to completely remove that. If you're trying to change the world, you have to realize that, okay, what does that entail? Let's be realistic. Let's look at the chessboard here. In order for me to do what I want to do, I might have to become a billionaire, unfortunately. I don't want to become a billionaire, really, genuinely. As one of my recent friends who's a founder would say, okay, if I don't want to join your club, let's start our own club. And I think I'm right there with him. I like that idea. I think that the billionaire club is a gross place. I don't know. It's an interesting bunch. There's certainly ones that stand out more than others, but the majority of them, if you actually look at how they made their money, it was pretty evil. If you really want to look at it that way. So, anyways, here's what I've been up to. Okay, I've been very busy, and busy doing the things that I just have to do. The things that I got to get it done. And you got to get through it to get to the next level. So I got a lot of shelves. You can see just empty shelves. I've just been buying shelves like crazy, like a madman. This is not my only unit. I've been buying as many units as I possibly can in this facility, just taking over this place. I'm trying to grow as fast as possible and have as much square footage as possible without committing to long-term leases until I absolutely have to, and until I have well, we're getting to that point. We're very close, and I don't really like that at all, because if I end up signing a multi-year lease for a space, which is the most valuable asset for asset recovery, I have to commit for years. What am I going to be doing in 2 years? What am I going to be doing in 5 years? My God, what am I going to be doing in 10 years? Like, why would I shoot myself in the foot by signing like a 5-year lease when I know in my soul that I will be doing 100 times the business that I am right now? Like, that's a pretty strong feeling when it goes through not your heart, not your mind, your soul. Like, I will be doing that. Like, it's just a fact. It's the truth. So why would I shoot myself in the foot when I know for a certainty that I would be harming the business? And, well, here's the solutions. You get flex space, or a space with expansion options. You could do that. I've been looking at warehouses. There are some like that, but it needs to be a lot of expansion space, and I don't want to get stuck with a guy in the middle. Here's my 20,000 square feet. Here's this dude, 10,000 square feet. He's going to commit there for 10 freaking years. Okay, I'll get the one over there. Like, no, I don't want to go over. I want the whole thing. So, unfortunately, I have to overextend to secure my future. So, to do that, I need money. So, that's the biggest problem for me right now. But there's a lot of thoughts that I have for today's video on that. But here we go. So if you're watching this, which I'm not really making this for other people, I'm making it for myself, but I already know what people are going to think. They're going to say, okay, this is luck or complete delusion. And I don't care what you think. I don't care your opinion. I think your opinion is wrong for, you know, for the sake of discussion. I don't think you're right, but what I call it is a glitch in the matrix. I mean, I'm trying to bend reality to my will, and to do that, I have to, yes, be delusional. Sure, okay. Who isn't? What person has changed? What person has changed the world that wasn't extremely delusional? Not just delusional, but extremely delusional. Now, once you have that attitude, and that attitude meaning, let's really dial it in. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. I won't ever take advice from anyone less successful than me. Ye was right. Kanye West. Yay. When you start thinking like that, you start realizing, oh, okay, so the only people I need to talk to are people that are, well, I'm trying to be a billionaire, so maybe I should talk to some billionaires, or people trying to be billionaires. And that's what I've been doing. And it really, I can't help but feel that it's like a higher power putting me with these people. I'm meeting the most interesting people in asset recovery, in my industry, that are really doing it. And they're doing it at 1,000 times the scale of me. And what's cool about that is I can learn, okay, I'm skipping years of failures to just, okay, meat and potatoes. What do I need to do to get my hands on the most stuff that's going to be thrown away in a dumpster at the back of some distribution facility? What do I have to do to get access to all of that in my hands and find it a new home? Like, let's sell this stuff. Let's get it back into the market. I'll end up getting it back. So, like, that's pretty crazy. If you really think about it, if you do what I'm trying to do, and you're the biggest player in that game, you're literally in a cycle of just reusing material. You could refurbish things. You could recycle the things that are completely broken. Can just take parts out. There's ways to reduce this problem exponentially, and the surface level is so, I wouldn't say easy, but it's a logistics problem. Get this from point A to point B, sell it, send it to point C, and then hopefully after point C, then it is obsolete. Like, not just obsolete, but it can be used for parts. It can be recycled. Like, it's completely not working. The problem is there's $163 billion worth of brand new good stuff that's being thrown away. Okay, you understand now? Like, it's a crazy thing. So that's what I'm trying to stop. That's so big. That's so much money involved. However, it's really not that much money. I mean, at the end of the day, you can tackle that. You can tackle the majority of it, and you're not gonna tackle the whole thing. You're gonna tackle a good percentage of it. So if you know anything about me, I love entrepreneurship. I believe I was born to do it. I always talk about, if you've ever met me, I probably told you the story of how I sold candy in middle school and high school, and I ended up writing a book on that because it was so much fun. And I would rather sit there and write a book instead of listen to my teachers talk about whatever, total regurgitating information, like complete waste of time. The entire education system is a joke, and I knew that in 8th grade. So when I started selling candy, I was like, that's my purpose. That's what I need to do. Whatever that is, I need to do that the rest of my entire life. And I truly believe that, like, that's like the essence of like my life energy. Like my soul, that's my soul on display. And I really have a desire to manifest the impossible. I don't know why I have that desire, but I have it. And all right, fair enough. That's who I am. I can't change who I am, so let's go. Let's go. Now, in this video, I really want to lay down like the entire foundation of the ethos of that company right there, Chase Surplus, because I think it's really important. I realized in my last video I was making people dizzy. I was walking around. I pace. I like to pace. So I'm gonna smoothly walk around the warehouse, and I'll have some B-roll and footage and stuff. I won't be going woo, like, okay. For your guys's to keep the food in your stomach, let's keep the camera kind of stable here. I have the stabilizer today. So here's the thing. What's an ethos? An ethos is the entire foundation of your business. Why did you start this in the first place? Because if you know anything about like founders, what happens every single time with founders is the moment they leave their company, they sell it, they sell out. Okay, now they're living their best life, like, John Jones, just on a forever holiday, on the beach sipping a martini for a week until they get bored. And then they start another company. But when they leave their first company that they actually put their heart and soul into, the entire thing goes to shit every time. Like, if you look at the stats, every single time the founder leaves, everything crashes and burns. And it's because the principles that were there when the founder started the company is no longer being upheld. And so, okay, what are those things? And how do you maintain that after you're gone? That I don't know the answer to. I have no idea how to maintain that after you're gone. Honestly, I don't think I can, but which is a sad reality. But what I do know is that while I'm alive, I need to maintain these values. So what are those values? Like, let's figure that out. It's kind of important, right? Why are you're starting a big business? Maybe we should figure that out. So, okay, let's sit down. We're in a new location. We're moving around here. All right. Okay. Let's get down to it. Okay. So I've started hiring people, and like in the last week or so, I've hired 2 people full time. Now this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Once you involve other people, a lot of things can go wrong, but what I've learned, what I've felt is growth feels a lot more fun. It's a lot more enjoyable when you're growing and other people are involved and they're seeing it happen. Growth is good. When an employee sees growth, they see a bright future. They see more money coming their way, and that's fine. That's why they're there. They want to make some money, and my goal as a leader is to get them to rally behind my mission as well. And if they're rallied behind the mission, they're never going to leave because they have purpose. And in reality, like, I want to take care of people. I want to be generous as I possibly feasibly can be. Obviously, when you're a startup, it's very hard to do that. But all you need is a few people to help you get to where you need to be, so you can actually be generous. And I'm happy to be like that. That's what I actually love that more than really anything. I think that will be what I really love. That will get me up in the morning, is the mission and people that are doing and facilitating my mission. Like that's and it changing, like having people in their ideas change the mission. Like this isn't a set in stone thing. It's a vague point in a direction. Hey, this is what we're trying to do. We're not going to get to that exact goal, but we're going to get somewhere close, or we're going to get somewhere further, but we're going to get in the middle. Like we just don't know. It's going to change, but I need people that are smarter than me, and people that are also really committed to the vision to help me figure out the mission, like, because it's going to change. Now, I don't think there's any industry that I wouldn't get into to get to my goal. I believe that I always thought I wanted to get into like transportation, because right now I have trucks with surplus obsolete parts that are coming from all over the country. Why not become the trucks? My logo is pretty cool. It's kind of a transportation logo. I think it would look really cool on some semis and going around the country. When I don't need them, they're doing little jobs. You're doing a lot, and then when I need them, here we go. Now, are these trucks going to have drivers by the time I get to that point? Probably not. And I think it'll be actually very affordable to do something like this. It'll be a electric truck without a driver, so I think very feasible. It's just an asset. This is money moving around. This is a logistics problem. It actually doesn't involve people in the future. I really don't think it will. Now here's a hill that I will die on. I will never take on outside investors. I've been receiving a lot of outreach recently. Hey, are you doing $1 million EBITDA? I'm like, what does that even mean? Let me Google that. Oh, $1 million like revenue? No. I'm not doing that yet. Why are you asking? Oh, well, we are looking into asset recovery, people in the circular economy. Like, we're trying to buy your company. No, I don't want to sell. And actually, matter of fact, I will never sell. And I've somehow known that ever since I started this, that I will never, as long as I'm running the show, which I plan to do until the day I die, I will never bring on outside money. And because here's the thing, smart money believes they overemphasize the importance of their money. They think their money is the secret, the key to my success. What they don't understand is they're undervaluing my ownership, the ownership of my company. This isn't a $1 million idea, this is a $1 billion idea. Now, the reason why I want to do this is because I want to give 100% of the shares of this company to God, to that guy up there. That's why in every picture on Instagram I do this, because I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for my ego. I'm not doing this for stupid reasons. I'm doing this because I'm a person with a life, and I want to have a fulfilling life, and this is the mission that will allow me to do that and allow me to provide that for hopefully millions of people. That's why I do that. And the good thing about that is that guy upstairs, he's free. You don't have to pay him. That CEO he works for free. So I just think that's pretty cool. Now, will it be harder? Yes. Will it be impossible? It's a good question. You know, it will be. Is that impossible? Okay, is what you're saying impossible? Well, if you know my channel, you're gonna love this. As the founder of Hyundai, Chung would say, "Have you tried?" I think I'll listen to the man who went from a starving child eating tree bark in what used to be North Korea to survive starvation, and going from that to creating the biggest conglomerate company in his country of Korea without ever taking on outside investors until the day he died. I think I'll listen to him. So, and here's the thing. I made a video on this, and if that just caught your attention, go watch my last video. I'll do the thing, do the YouTube thing, and you can click it up here or whatever. And yeah, I was gonna make a second part to that video, but instead, I think when I was actually going to a wedding, and I was flying there, and I was reading the end of the book, and I always thought, oh, I'm gonna make a second video on the whole second half of the book. Well, I only really had one major takeaway from that, and that takeaway was the following: frugality, modesty, and diligence. Now that's a company ethos that I can get behind. I mean, wow. I mean, that's how you become a billion-dollar corporation that changes the world. Be frugal, take on debt intelligently, but to do that and to pay it off every time, because you have to pay it off every time, you have to be very, very smart with your money. You gotta be frugal, and you gotta be modest. You're not buying things that are flashy. You're not buying equipment that you don't need, that it just looks cool. It's for your ego. It's what do we need to get the job done? Because we need to get the job done. So because I'm currently running a zero cogs business, and that's my model, I can exponentially grow. And I have the ability to grow smart. Like ideally, I don't want to really go any other way except for like two ways. There's two routes that I would take. There's one route, I like to call it the cash fortress route. Take on as much cash as you possibly can. It makes it damn near impossible to go bankrupt, and you just grow off of the cash. And that's the problem with that is it's going to take too long. And I believe I can switch to that approach in the future, but for now I have to, like, time is fleeting, especially when you're working diligently towards your mission every single day. Time starts going very quickly, and I want to do amazing things at a younger age for a few reasons, right? It's impressive. I mean, really, if you really think about it, what I'm trying to do, like this year, I'm shooting for $1 million in revenue this year, but the issue with that is only 5% of companies ever make it to $1 million in revenue out of the entire United States. And I think 0.00000000001%, which is me, ever does it at 21 from nothing. So yes, it's very hard. Am I going to do it next year? Maybe next year. But I'm going to take a really big crack at it, and I think I'll get very close. And if a few stars align, I will do it. But the reason why I want to do that is because I want to meet the right people. I want to say, hey, this is what I did. If you want to know what I did, like, we can talk about what I did. Here's what I did. Now let's talk business, right? Like, that's what you got to do sometimes, right? You have to have credibility, and credibility grows like a tree. And that's why I have to get every job done. Like, I want to have a reputation to, hey, I get things done. Because all the money in the world doesn't matter if you have a bad reputation. None of it matters. You will go out of business if you have a bad reputation. So the second route is to take on like strategic financing. And that's what I'm looking into right now. I have a few major opportunities that I just need the space. I need the square footage. I can get the people. I have decent SOPs. I have a good head on my shoulders. I believe when I hire the people in the space, that's going to be no problem. I can get that machine oiled and running very quickly. Like, my approach, if you're curious, is like the Toyota way, the Kaizen way. Like, let's get everybody in the company together on mission. Ideally, that's what a leader has to do. Hardest thing ever. But if you can do that, and the culture is based around a Kaizen philosophy of, hey, we're trying to do this as efficiently and as cost effectively as possible. And I don't care how we get there. If we get there quicker by the way you think we can do it, great, we're doing that now. And I'm stupid. There's a lot of people that are smarter than me. I want to hire those people, and I want to have them all work together, and I want to incentivize working together to make the processes faster, cheaper, better. And I think that is the best possible approach by far. Now, like, logistically, I've been making some serious strides. I've hired those 2 people full time, and one of them might quit, and it's a game. Like, okay, now I got to get another person. Now I got to get, that is the stuff that I can work on now. I'm physically out of the business finally. I'm not doing the orders, I'm not doing the listings, I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm not doing any of that. I've checked out, and I'm there to put out the fires, and I'm there to create the SOPs to be able to train and hire people quickly. If people quit, I can hire people on, and we're not going to have a scenario where I have all of the entire weight of $1 million in revenue a year company back on my shoulders, and I have to physically do everything. That will cause me to go out of business. Not necessarily because I'll run out of money. That's not the case at all. It's when the entrepreneur burns out into oblivion. That's when the company goes under. So right now, I'm sitting on 4,000 square feet. And in late August, I have another warehouse being built for me right now. That's about 3,000 more square footage, and it's adding on. So it's going to put me at, 6,000? And that's not enough, right? I need more. I need a lot more. And this is why I need to seriously consider looking into getting a second location. That's what I'm going to be doing. I think my buddy's just got here, so let's ask him about this crazy idea that I have. Get in here, Christian. I'm filming a video right now. No, get over here, dude. Get in the video, dude. Just say a little hello to the camera.
Yo.
This is my guy right here. He's best realtor in Colorado.
Appreciate that, brother.
But yeah, dude, what do you think about my idea of opening a second warehouse? Just for like returns and stuff. I haven't even got into that yet, but that's my idea.
This guy's gonna be a multimillionaire in less than 16 months. I guarantee it. Dude, he's gonna have probably 30,000 square feet. On my life, he's gonna have 30,000 square feet in 18 months.
Well,
Easy.
that's high praise. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
I see it, bro. I see it.
Oh man. Well, yeah, that's the mission. That's the goal. I think I'm gonna end up getting there. I'm like being forced to do that, and taking on a little bit of a little bit of money and no investors, just taking on some money. I think you can get it done, and pay off the debt. Don't be stupid. Let's go. Let's make the money. You're committing to that. Let's go. So that's what I'm gonna do. But right now, I need to go play some golf, and I will be back to film the rest of this video later at night. So I will see you then. All right, I'm back. We played golf. Here's a little clip.
Do it for the gram. Do it for the people, man.
Oh my god, this is insane.
They done make me mad. I've been keeping calm, constantly keep making
And the reason why I'm not here tonight and I'm here the next day is because I was watching UFC and my guy O'Malley got strangled by Marab, and that was not very fun to see. So I was not in a great mood. So I was like, let me come back the next day when I'm feeling a little bit better. So yeah, let's get straight to it. I don't. The second half of this video, I really just want to get right into what I'm going to be doing in the future, the very near future, from now until the next video, right? I want to use this YouTube platform as a way to keep myself accountable for my goals, right? I want to get the things that I need to get done, and by putting it out in the world, I'm turning it into something that needs to get done. Like, it has to get done, or else it'll bother me, and I will get it done. So what I'm going to be doing is pretty much right now I'm in like 4,000 square feet, right? This is a new unit. I'm sure I'll have some B-roll of me running around this unit to show you what's going on. But pretty much this is where two guys work full time. One guy does processing for parts, and another guy actually lists parts on eBay. And it's great having him here with me in person because I can actually help him. And that's a really hard thing to do, is list stuff on eBay. And what's going to happen eventually in the future here, the near future, is I don't have to actually list stuff on eBay anymore. I'm going to be trying to, well, I'm not trying to, this is what I need to do, so it will get done. But what I'm going to do is transfer from creating listings on eBay, and right before AI takes over and it makes it way easier, of course, I'm going to jump out, and start something new. And the way I'm going to list stuff in the future is pretty much using a scan gun and inventory management software. Scan the UPC, it uploads the product details, and we just take pictures of the stuff. And honestly, I can make it so I don't even have to take pictures of stuff. And that flow is really advanced. Nobody's been able to actually do that. No reseller has been able to scan a part and it automatically lists on every platform. That's what I will do, and that's just the beginning. Once I get that done, I believe the best way to do it is I want to receive as much stuff as possible. And a lot of this stuff that I could get is returns. So I need clean POs, clean manifests, and then using my inventory software, I'm trying to scan the parts and we're looking for excess or extras or not enough. Like we're directly comparing it to the manifest to make sure it did everything. Is everything on the pallet that they're supposed to be? And by doing it that way, then it's all automated, it's all clean, and yeah, the software I'm using is $1,500 a month, and the scan tool is about $500 a month. So yeah, about $2,000 a month to get this going. But I'll be more advanced than any other reseller on the planet. I'll be more advanced than any other asset recovery company on the planet. And just by those two things, I believe those two things, that magic of getting the parts processed by scanning it, listing on all the platforms, and even on my partner's platforms, just being all over the internet, exposure, exposure, exposure. I think that is how you grow to $1 billion corporation. I think the things that people have right are using robots to pick up bins as like a bin system. I think that's awesome, like a big grid of bins. I'll place a clip here or something, or a picture. That's the most advanced way to do inventory. And I believe a company called Radwell does that, and they're my competition. I will crush them one day, even though they are like the biggest in the entire freaking world. The reason why I say that is because they are the epitome of what I'm trying to stop, right? There's the only options out there are people that are buying this stuff outright for pennies on the dollar, for nothing. Hey, okay, you have $20,000 worth of stuff. Well, I'll send you an offer for $2,000. Oh, well, there's no other better option out there. So, well, yeah, sure thing. They send it over to them, and then they send a quarter of it back. Oh, we'd actually, after second look, we don't actually want this stuff. So you're stuck with parts, and you were screwed, and you got slapped in the face for 10 cents on the dollar. And that's just ridiculous. And if I ever do buyout inventory, like that's what I plan on doing, right? I want to offer consignment and buying out inventory once I have the capital. But I don't want to offer 10 cents on the dollar. I'll be like, hey, listen, 20 cents on the dollar, or something way better than anybody else is offering, just to help them out. Because maybe they do need the money right away. Maybe they don't want to wait for like the 8-month project out to get all of this stuff sold for the full value on consignment. Now, I think the best way to go about doing the returns is, because these are returns that I'm going to be receiving from like Home Depot, Amazon, Best Buy, Milwaukee, even like really good brands like that have high sell-through rate. A lot of that stuff, it's going to be a hit or miss. Half the truck's going to be awesome pallets, half the truck's going to suck. So I think what I'm going to do is a few of my partners have like auction sites. I think I might use those auction sites we'll see if they'll let me use those auction sites to sell off the remainder. If not, I'll have to build a relationship with one until I eventually can make my own proprietary auction site, and just target it towards resellers and people that are trying to get rich quick, right? So it's just trying to get this stuff out there. I'm going for 100% return rate, or not return rate, reclaim rate on the returns. And right now I'm around 70-80% return rate, or reclaim rate, returning money to them based on like the total profit that is potential. Like that, I received this stuff, okay, it's worth this much. This is the potential profit. Well, 70-80% of that is reclaimed in the first year. I'm pretty good at getting stuff sold. So I really like the 50-50 on consignment model. I'm going to keep doing that. If you look on my website, this isn't a secret. Everybody knows what I do. It helps everybody out. No one's willing to do it because they're greedy, and I'm not. So I want to help people out and build the relationships, genuinely trying to help people. And then from that, I'll have a reputation of getting it done, and getting it done better than anybody else. Okay? And I'm not too concerned about sharing that, because I'm the first to do it. I believe I can do it better than anybody else. If anybody else wants to try, go for it. We'll end up working together eventually if you do get big, I'm sure, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to collaborate. I'm trying to work with people. I'm not trying to crush people. I'm not trying to do any of that. There's too much stuff out there. $163 billion worth of stuff. Help me in this fight. Like, I've humbled myself to that realization. Like, okay, I can't do it myself. Maybe eventually I will, but not for a long, long time. So, and I'd honestly like to do it with other people. Like, I want to get the best people in the world to help me do this. So if any of you are smart and you know anybody that can help me on this mission, or you can help me on this mission, let me know. Reach out to me. My email is always in the description of the video. I believe that being generous and responding to generosity with more generosity is the best way to possibly conduct business. That's a bold statement. That's a non-conventional statement, but I think it's true, and I think it will be proven to be true. In the circular economy space, I think that generosity and collaboration is the only way to go, because it's a problem that's bigger than any of us. Now, like, here's an example of what I didn't like about a job that I had. I've only had one job in my life. It was for a month, and I love telling this story because it's the best way to get this point across. I worked at this like jump trampoline park place, and my job was to stand there, and when the balls flew out of the ball pit, the plastic balls, I had to lean over, pick them up, put them back in the ball pit, and that was my freaking job. And I was like, okay, this is stupid. This is dumb. Let's lower the balls by 10% so it's not flowing out all the time. And I told my manager this, 10%, that's all we need. It's not gonna affect any of the kids are still gonna have fun. They're still gonna be able to get out of the ball pit. It's gonna be fine. Then move these mats out of the way. They're on the floor, and get a plastic shovel in here. You can just lean up against the gate, or there's like a fence there. You do one scoop, boom, back in the ball pit. Instead of 100 balls for 8 hours a day, just picking up and throwing it back in the ball pit. I think there's a better way to do this. And they didn't want to hear it. They were like, no, we do it this way. I was like, all right, well, I didn't say I quit, but I just silently quit. I was like, you're not going to want to listen to me. I don't really want to even give you the time of day to tell you how to quit. Like, I'm just not coming. Fuck this, essentially is what I did. And that's what I did. And what's crazy about that is a few months later, they actually implemented my idea. So, all right. So I hated that. That literally made me quit a job. So didn't like that. And then I also didn't like that when I was at lunch, eating, so expensive nowadays, like $15 to eat lunch. I was like, wait, I made $15 an hour. So I just worked for free for the last hour? So I'm a slave, essentially, because I need to eat, because I have human needs. So if I've decided that if anyone decides to work for me full time, I'm gonna treat them with the utmost respect and treat them as like, you're committing a lot of time during the day to me, and that's a big deal. I think that's a big responsibility for me. And I decided if they want to go to lunch, I'll pay for the lunch. I'll give them a card, a credit card. They can use my money to eat lunch every day. I don't care. Just don't go crazy, And yeah, that's the way I like to go about things. Like, that's literally like giving someone a $2 raise, but it's worth it. It shows that I care. Hey, you care so much about working here for 8 hours a day. Well, the least I can do is care so much to make it so you don't feel like crap when you're eating a very overexpensive lunch around here. So yeah, those are just a few examples of ways I want to go about it, just treating employees with dignity and respect. And it's hard because what I want to do is bark at them and just take over, and I can do this 100 times faster. So let me just take over. No. I can't do that. I have to just step back. And I realize that what I can do to be proactive is to create better SOPs, systems, and train them better. That's what I can proactively do instead of just do it myself. So, yeah. Oh, but it's the hardest thing I've ever done, and it also makes this real. And I've had a few moments of just like, wow, people actually want to work at this thing that I made, and it feels like my baby's out there in the world, and it's kind of cool. And yeah, but that's pretty much the end of the video. I thought about having someone like record and procure footage of me for like a documentary that will come out in like a few years. I might still do that. if it gets really crazy, if what I'm trying to do by getting into like a 40,000 square foot warehouse, if that does happen, and it might not just be me, it might be me and like one of those partners that are in the same place, but it'll be a huge space. At least 10,000 square feet is what I'm going to be shooting for if I do that, which I think I have to. I'm just waiting for, I have a few big deals in the works right now to, once I get those closed and I know there's going to be money there that I can tap into, then I'm going to pull the trigger on it. But until that really starts kicking off, I'll still make these videos. But I think having someone follow me around with the camera, it makes sense because I have no time. I have no time to do these videos. Like I love these videos, but I just don't have time. But I do love it, so I might make the time. So I don't know. I'll figure that out. But if I do, I have some inspiration from Genius, the Yay documentary by Cootie, and I really love the way he did that. And they got footage for years and years, like decades, and then they finally used the footage and put it on Netflix. And I loved it. But like that feeling of watching the Yay documentary was like, if I do a documentary, it's got to be like that. So that might happen. I might make that happen. I've been talking to a few guys that are camera guys. Some of them don't seem very committed to doing it, so I need to find the right person. But because I don't screw around. Like, are we gonna do this or not? I'll pay you well. Like, let's get it done. So yeah, I think I'll try to keep having more like long form conversations on my podcast. I do like that, just to share some interesting conversations with people that are really doing awesome things out there. I think I'll still do that. And then if you guys are kind enough to leave a message, like a comment under this video, I will be kind enough to respond to as many of them as I possibly can. So because I truly just want to inspire people and encourage everyone who really has like just a flame in their heart, right? That's the only way I can describe it. I've described it as since I was 16 when I was writing a book. I think I was 17, but it doesn't really matter. I was still in high school, and I was writing that book, and I described it as the flame in my heart of like sometimes I feel like I literally want to like jump out of my skin. That's how bad I want to do some of these things. So if someone else is feeling that, I just want to fire. I just want to put just spark to their flame that they're trying to ignite, and just go do what you need to do, right? You know what you need to do already. You feel it. This is what you were born to do. Go do it, and never look back. And don't let anybody ever stop you or tell you differently that, oh, you don't know, don't do that. You got to go to college. You got to do this. You got to get a job. You got to get married. Do whatever you want. It's an interesting thing to just realize that no one cares, and you can change your destiny with God's help. I really do believe that. And if you're in a rough spot, if you realize, okay, I've been wasting some time, just realize, I'm going to be honest with you, there is no time, and it's fleeting. And look directly at the camera. Every time I look away, I'll look directly at the camera for this one. Time goes fast. And if you work diligently and you give your all to whatever your mission is, whatever that is for you, whatever that looks like, that's going to be a good, fulfilling life. You can become a renowned, venerated politician. Maybe you don't want to be a politician. Maybe not the best choice, but like artist. You can be an entrepreneur. You can be a musician. You can be a God. You can make anything. You can do anything. If that's your passion, if that's what you feel like you were meant to do, in one lifetime, you can be the best at whatever that is. If you want to be, you can do it. You can do anything. You can do the impossible. Because have you even tried? God, I love that so much. I'm going to get that like tattooed or something. I don't know. I just love that. And yeah, this is the last thing I'll say. Never forget, be unapologetically great. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching this. I just did a little prayer because what I have coming up is not going to be easy. It will make or break what I'm trying to do right now. But I'll bring you guys along for the ride. Yeah, no.